We're here looking at the 2020 BMW 228 Gran Coupe, and I gotta tell you, I feel like I should be in Monaco test driving this.
Well, I've been to Monaco a couple of times, and if you sold this car, you might have enough money for one weekend. That's how expensive it is there.
True.
Now, if you think this is just a four-door version of the 2 Series Coupe and Cabriolet we already get in the marketplace now, it isn't.
Let's go for a drive, and we'll tell you why. Pretty good to me, that engine. 228 horsepower, 258 pound-foot of torque.
That's a good engine.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into the different options you have in the 2 Series lineup, because we said at the beginning, we're going to say what it isn't first of all, and then we'll get into the attributes of this car.
For sure, yeah.
Okay, so you know that BMW owns another brand. What is it?
The Mini.
Yeah, and they have for the very first time done platform sharing. The one thing that BMW, up until this current generation of vehicles, all of their platforms were unique just to BMW, right?
Yeah, which I think people kind of liked.
Well,
you knew what you were getting.
I certainly did. And then when they brought out the X1, the last X1, the X2, and the Mini Countryman, they all share the same platform that's used for this car.
And you can kind of see it for sure with the center console. It sits a little bit lower, like the Mini.
There's a couple of other things on the outside. Actually, one when you open the hood is that, you know, Mini is a front wheel drive bias system. So the engine runs this way. And with the other 2 Series, the Coupe and the Cabriolet, the engine runs this way. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code MOTORMOUTH to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.
You know, and because this is based on a shared utility platform, it's got some utility with it when you look at the 40-20-40 split with the seats, and that they fold all the way down, which I think for a small car like this, it's super practical.
Well, I knew right away when I picked it up that this was based on that X1 platform, because the trunk cutout for the back, typically with a sedan, there's a big brace that goes across the back. It has the trunk silhouette when you open it up is very similar to what you would get with a utility vehicle.
Yes.
Now, there's going to be some people right now, Andrea, that are saying, well, wait a second. Why would I want to buy a BMW with a shared platform with Mini and it's based on a utility? Like, who wants that? But you know what? All of the other brands do the same thing.
Yeah, you see it with Audi, Volkswagen, and you see it with Mercedes-Benz.
And this is kind of like, I kind of feel that this car is a Me Too car. You know, Mercedes had so much success with the CLA.
Yeah.
And they had the B-Class and they had the GLA, and they had their small family of vehicles, right?
Yes.
And BMW's like, hey, we're missing out on that. We need some of that action. So they brought out the X1, they brought out the Countryman, and then they brought out vehicles based on that same platform. So Mercedes has been doing it very successfully for years, and now BMW's in the mix.
Yeah, BMW's got a whole slew of cars, but they were missing something like this. So now they have it. And they've plopped the BMW badge right on it.
Okay, now I want to just talk about the way it looks, because I first saw it in pictures and I'm like, that looks to me from the front, it looks like a Kia.
I think it's great for Kia that this car looks like one of theirs.
But it's not good for BMW.
Okay.
But it's just certain angles. To me, it looks like a Kia Forte.
Sure. And, you know, this car that we're driving has the Premium Excellence package, and it also has the M Sport package, which has all of this high gloss black. So you can get it with the silver, and you may not see the Kia as much.
Yeah, it gets with the M Sport package. It's a deal, actually.
Oh, is it ever?
It's finally a deal from BMW. For just $1,000, you get the 19-inch alloy wheels. You also get the M Sport brakes. And here's the big one, Andrea. You might have heard people commenting about run flat tires. So with that $1,000, you'd get non-run flat tires and you get a tire repair kit. So for those of you who hate BMW using run flat tires, this is your girl.
This is amazing. And the 19-inch wheels on this car looks fantastic. How many BMW owners dislike run flat tires because you can't find one if you're further away from home.
That's true. We had friends, we were driving their X3, one of the tires let loose, and it was like 2 days to get a tire to them.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about competition.
Yes.
So there are some competitors to this, and I think the obvious one is from Mercedes, and they have new entries in the marketplace. They've got the A-Class, the CLA, and the A-Class hatchback.
Yes.
And as I mentioned, they had huge success with their small family of cars.
Yes.
So this is a kind of a Me Too car. Of those and this, which one do you prefer?
Well, I got to talk about horsepower with those three. The horsepower on all three Mercedes models are not as good as this.
Well, they're not bad though.
Not bad, but not as good. And the A-Class sedan is at 188 horsepower. But you know which one I really like is the hatch.
Yeah.
And it's got the 258 pound-foot of torque, so it's equivalent to this.
Yeah, those engines are very, very close. This is 228 horsepower. Those engines are 221, but they have the same amount of torque. So it's all in the way it delivers, right?
And I gotta say, when it comes to those three vehicles, the interior is beautiful. And then we've got the Audi A3, which actually has the same horsepower and same torque, but I would say the interior isn't as nice as this.
We have to just cut that one right off because they've got a new one coming. So let's just wait till we get the new one.
Yeah.
And then the other one that's kind of the dark horse is the Cadillac Ct4.
Yeah, and well, first off, it has more horsepower, same amount of torque as this, but for the price tag, you could actually get the CT5V.
It's crazy, right? Yeah, let's get into the price. You mentioned the packages. So this car is, we'll round it up to 42,500. That Premium Excellent package, which has, I don't know, like 15, 20 items on it, is $8,750.
Yeah.
So why didn't they just say, this car's 50 grand?
Because they want to lure us in and say it starts at 42.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It basically, if you want it nicely equipped, it's $50,000. Then you throw in $1,000 for that M Sport package, and the metallic paint on this is $895, and the kidney grills are $250. So the grand total for the car you're driving in today, Drea, is almost $54,000. To your point, you could get a CT5V with a twin turbo 6-cylinder for the same price.
Absolutely, and a nicer interior than this, in my opinion. Look,
hey, we were pretty taken with that car.
I was really taken with it. And you know what though? So we all know I have a bit of a steering wheel fetish, let's be honest. And this one, once again, BMW nailed it.
Andrea,
I love the M Sport. It is just the right thickness.
You like it thick, I know.
Fantastic.
It's all about,
well, who doesn't like it thick, really?
It's all about the girth. All right, let's get into some numbers here. So this car will make a run to 100 kilometers an hour in 6.1 seconds. If that's not enough for you, Drea, they will sell you the M235, which will go to 100 in 4.8.
Yes, sweeter engine.
So, Andrea, one thing we forgot to do is put it in.
Subscribe. S for subscribe.
You don't have to say S, just put it in. You just have to put it in.
Why? I like to say S.
Okay.
S for subscribe.
And Andrea's Instagram account is doing real well. It's motormouth_Andrea. Motormouth_Andrea. Great picture here with Andrea in her floral dress. And mine is motormouth_auto.
Yes.
You did reference it already. This does have a slightly different interior than the 2 Series Coupe and Cab.
For sure, and you can see that it sits lower, like it's coming from the Mini platform. There's some positives about this interior. I really like the infotainment center. It's super easy to use. I like that the screen is kind of pointed to the driver, almost like making it a whole driving experience for the person in the car. I like how easy it is to switch driving modes.
Yeah.
You know, from sport to comfort to eco. I thought that that was really easy. I think the fit and finish of this interior is just okay.
Yeah, it's nothing fabulous. Like you mentioned it already. If you look at the MBUX interiors from Mercedes that they've come up with, they have a wow factor. Not much wow factor here.
It's very simple. Maybe it's focusing just on the drive, which we can both say we love.
But the thing is, this is the BMW ecosphere, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can get in any of their cars and they're going to have a similar look and feel to this. But I'm kind of with you on the materials are not as high grade as you would get in some of their other cars. It just feels that one step down.
Yeah, and I think like this diamond pattern that's here on the trim is kind of cheap looking.
But you can get different ones, right?
Of course, I'm just pointing out this one. And I think that the hard plastic, there's a fair amount in here. And of course there's some soft materials and they're trying to find that balance, but it just doesn't do it for me.
Now, what doesn't do it for me at all is the back seat. It is uncomfortable. You sit upright. There's no, like, you have a four-door car and you have access to extra seats. Make them comfortable. So this is a perfect execution for basically a single person or a couple or empty nesters who don't have to use that back seat very often because you wouldn't want to use it very often. But on the positive side, what is Mini known for?
The drive.
And great handling. What is BMW known for?
Great handling and the drive.
And you marry those two things together. This is a very satisfying car to drive.
For me, that was the best part about reviewing this car is the drive. I had so much fun with it. I enjoyed the power. The steering is agile. Overall, that is why I would buy this car, not for the interior.
Yeah, and
not for the exterior.
Yeah, and here's the thing is, if the 2 Series Coupe and Cabriolet didn't exist, it's a fine car. There's nothing wrong with it. And it handles beautifully, and it's just great in the city. You can put it anywhere, you can maneuver it. It's a lot of fun to drive.
It's a lot of fun, but always keep in mind, there are a lot of people out there that don't like a two-door.
No, for sure. I get it. I totally understand it.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to get into the other BMW 2 Series, okay?
Okay.
I get questions all the time about the 2 Series Coupe and Cabriolet. And I have said, I've been on record for the last couple of years, that it is the best deal in the BMW lineup. The best deal is the 2 Series Coupe or Cabriolet with the upgraded 6-cylinder engine called the 240.
Okay.
Okay, now this car is available with an upgraded engine, but it's not the same engine. Okay, that is just a higher output version of the one we're driving now. But it is not the inline 6-cylinder that BMW is known for.
Yes.
So that car, the Coupe and the Cabriolet, 335 horsepower.
Sweet.
And you can get it with a manual transmission. And if you get it with a manual transmission, it's rear-wheel drive only. It's a purist car.
It is, and it exterior-wise, just beautiful.
Yeah, and that, in my opinion, if you're a car enthusiast and you want a great handling car, you don't want to go to a much more expensive BMW, the 240 Coupe Cabriolet with the bigger engine is, that's the one to get. So it all comes down to, why would you buy this? The back seat isn't very comfortable, so they'll sell you a two-door with a back seat that's just hard to get in and out of, and available with a better engine.
I think it comes down to price.
Yeah, but you start adding up the price.
But maybe you don't add up. Like, maybe you don't check all those boxes. Maybe if you're just trying to get into this market, this will work well for you. And there are people who have kids. And maybe it's a second car, but sometimes you have to take the kids and you need the car seat. So this makes sense for some people.
Good job, Drea.
Thanks. Good job, Zork. He's actually known as Zork Spingler. Every time he pairs his phone in a press car, he always writes Zork Spingler.
Yeah, because it's just a funny version of Zach Spencer, Zork Spingler.
I wonder if anybody sees that and goes, who the hell is Zork?
I think most people in Vancouver know it's me.
It's you.
It doesn't just say Zach's phone, it's Zork Spingler's hi-fi. For me, the choice is really simple. I would choose the 2 Series Coupe with the higher output 6-cylinder engine. In my opinion, that is the best deal in the BMW lineup.
I have to agree with you. I'm more attracted to the cab for sure, but I can understand a young professional wanting to get into the luxury market, needs a back seat once in a while. This would appeal to them.
This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code MOTORMOUTH to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.